You know, I told you a while ago about how Meghan Markle, when she decided she was 43% Nigerian, they were still waiting over in Nigeria to have this verified, whether they could put some certificate up, perhaps in one of their main buildings, government buildings, that sort of stuff. Naturally, they were very proud of this heritage, and rightly so. There she was, a woman of colour, basically on the world stage, going all the way around the world, well, to regale them with that story. You know, what she said was, if you remember, when I look at you, I see myself in you, and all that sort of stuff. They even gave her a name, didn't they? Why? Very nice, very sweet, all that sort of stuff. Again, though, seems that Meghan Markle, once again, some might suggest is reaching out to the women of colour. Let me explain. Morning, good to see you, chums. Thank you so much as ever for taking the time out for joining me today. You know, Meghan rocked up in Broadway, right? Sorry, we'll have a wave. She rocked up in Broadway, and the bottom line with this was there are many things, as I pointed out, that Meghan could have gone to see on Broadway for a long time. And as I also pointed out, given the fact that a close friend the other night, George Clooney, was debuting with his opening night in Thank You and Good Night at a theatre literally up the road, you would have thought she might have wanted to go and support him. But as I also pointed out, there were some problems with that, similarly because, of course, if she was pictured with the wrong people, this wouldn't necessarily be good for her brand, you understand. Now, what I find fascinating is, as we all know, behind the scenes there's a massive explosion about to kick off with Santa Barley, right? This is the charity that Prince Harry, which we're always told, was set up many years ago, very close to his heart, in memory of his mother, all the usual paraphernalia, right? You get that. Now, here's where this gets interesting, because of course you can understand the fallout from what Dr. Sophia Chanduka said, not just on television over here to Sky News, but also to the Financial Times, has proven very damning for both of the couple, not just Harry, but for Meghan Markle too. And while she was kind of nice about her on the screen, clearly there's a little bit of, shall we say, problems there, and that's going to be coming out in the future. So Meghan, according to a very well-placed source, decided that action was needed. You see, we've all seen the video where apparently she seems to snub Dr. Sophia as, of course, at that polo match, the one which really turned it from a charitable event to a commercial event when Harry and Meghan decided to bring their Netflix cameras to turn it into a TV program for themselves, right? Let's just get that clear. And also there's going to be some interesting factors regarding Penguin Random House and exactly how much money Harry, well, donated to that Santa Barley. They're claiming, and it's in print, that it was $1 million. Be good to see this, right? Transparency is everything. But you see, what was interesting, according to a source, was the fact that basically Meghan wanted to be seen in this particular environment, which predominantly is a mixed cast. And, you know, they are a brilliant cast. I'm not saying anything against that, but they are just very, shall we say, how can I put this nicely? Very relatable right now for Meghan and her brand, you understand? So she slapped on the fake tan, because if you look at her, for instance, in the Netflix show, which she filmed a couple of months back now, you know, she's quite happy to be bleached out whiter than white. And suddenly, as we saw in that infamous speech she gave up in Manchester, dressed all in red, she was a darker shade again. So it seemingly, it suits whatever it suits. Now, of course, the cast, if you think about this, were just thrilled to get some publicity. Clearly, this drives in business, allegedly. But Meghan had an ulterior motive. Again, we have to say allegedly, because pictured with all of these people, including an esteemed Broadway star in the lead of the hit musical Gypsy, well, this then really will counteract any problems that are looming, and there are many problems looming from the Santa Barley charity, particularly aimed at Meghan Markle, according to this source. So by being pictured with a group of women of colour, which Meghan now resonates with, being 43% Nigerian, even though Nigeria is still waiting for that documentation, you see how this, very casually, and she hopes very favourably, plays out. Either way, it's a developing story. When I know more, you'll know more. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.